I still remember hitting my first 10 digital product sales. 10 might not sound like a big number to some people, but when you're starting completely from scratch with no audience, no email list, no funnel, no ads, it feels like climbing a mountain. It was social proof for me, proof that someone out there valued what I created enough to pull out their wallet or purse and pay for it. That first sale feels like lightning. It gets you stirred up. The 10th sale feels like confirmation. But if I'm being totally transparent, I made a lot of mistakes that slowed me down and stretched the process way longer than it had to be. And that's what I want to share with you today. Because if you're at the start of your digital product journey, my mistakes don't have to be yours, right? In this video, I'm going to walk you through three main things: what didn't work, what actually worked, and what I do differently if I were starting over right now. So stick around to the end because I'll also give you one action step that you can take today to move closer to your first sales. Let's get honest about what didn't work. Yeah, I'm going to be transparent. And trust me, this list is longer than I'd like to admit, and that I can't share all of them here. The first mistake was thinking one post could do the trick. I launched my digital product, crafted what I thought was the perfect Instagram post about my product. I hit publish and then sat there refreshing my notifications like it was Christmas morning. I expected instant sales. Instead, crickets, nothing. One post isn't enough. That's the lesson. Social media moves too fast. The algorithms don't show everything and people are busy. Most of my audience didn't even see my post. The few that did, they probably forgot about it within 5 minutes. Posting once and hoping is like whispering into a huge stadium. Almost nobody's going to hear it. The second mistake was overbuilding the product. I got so obsessed with making it look perfect. I redesigned the cover how many times? I added extra sections, bonus sections that nobody asked for. I kept editing and polishing and telling myself it's just not ready yet. But here's the truth. People don't buy your digital product because it's perfect. They buy it because it solves their problem. The fancy design, the extra features, they don't care about that. They don't matter if the core solution isn't clear. I wasted weeks trying to make it flawless instead of launching, learning, and improving as I went along. If you're getting value from this video so far, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other deep dives. And things I haven't discussed on this channel are included in my digital bundles, where I give secrets, hacks, and tips the bigger YouTubers don't want you to know. Grab those bundles from the link in the description. You'll thank me later. Now let's continue. The third mistake was hiding my link. Sounds silly, right? But I buried my product 3 clicks deep. It was in my bio link, under another button, or hidden halfway down a caption. No pinned comment, no call to action at the end of the videos. Basically, I was making it hard for people to buy. And the reality is people don't dig. They don't dig deep. If it's not easy, they're going to move on to the next. I lost sales not because people weren't interested, but because I didn't make the path obvious and easy. And there was another second mistake: waiting for permission. I thought I needed a bigger audience. I thought I needed fancy funnels. I thought I needed to earn the right to sell. So guess what? I hesitated. I second-guessed myself and I delayed. That mindset probably cost me more than anything else. Now let's talk about what actually helped me get those first 10 sales. I know you are anxious to hear that. Because while I stumbled, there were a few things that I accidentally did right. Soft selling worked. Instead of blasting buy now post, I started telling stories, read stories, and start sharing tips that naturally led into the product. For example, I made a post about how I use my Notion template to cut my content planning time in half. At the end, I casually mentioned that's actually inside my $9 guide. It didn't feel like a sales pitch. It felt like I was sharing something useful, something that worked for me. People don't want to be pressured, but they do want to learn. And when the solution is baked into the story, the sale feels natural. That's the key right there. Micro proof worked as well. I didn't have dozens of glowing testimonials, but the very first time someone sent me a DM saying this saved me so much time, I screenshotted it with permission, of course, and I shared it. That one real human comment did more to convince people than all my polished posts combined. People trust other people more than they even trust you. Social proof doesn't have to be fancy. Even one comment can be powerful. Now for low ticket offers, those worked. I wasn't trying to sell a $500 course to strangers who barely knew me or knew of me. I priced my first product under $20. That made it an easy yes. No long decision process, no risk, just click, buy, try it. Once someone trusted me with a $9 purchase and they see how much value they got from it, it was so much easier to earn their trust again for bigger things later. Beginners often overlook this, but low-ticket products are like opening the front door and letting them in. They get to see what you're all about. Remixing your content also works. That worked for me. I didn't start from scratch. I went back to my old post, the ones that people engaged with, the tutorials that got shared, the threads that sparked comments, and I pulled them together into something cohesive. That became my first product. People had already proven that they liked the content. Turning it into a paid version just made sense, and adding more value to it. Sometimes the product you're looking for is already hiding right under your nose in your past post. And one last thing that worked, consistency. Even when the sales weren't rolling in, I kept showing up. I talked about the product more than once. I kept talking about it. I mentioned it in passing. I pinned the link. I learned to be okay with repeating myself. Because here's the reality. Your audience isn't seeing everything that you post. So repetition isn't annoying. It's necessary. Looking back, there are 3 big things I'd do differently if I had a chance to start over. First, I'd take an audience-first approach. Even if you don't have thousands of subscribers or followers, focus on a small group of people that you can actually help. Listen to them. Ask questions. Pay attention to the frustrations that they share. It's easier to sell 10 people who trust you than to try to pitch to 1,000 strangers who don't care. Let that sink in. I was too focused on the product and not enough on the people. And that was the problem. Secondly, I'd validate more before building the product. Let me explain. Instead of spending weeks creating something and hoping that it would sell, I'd float the idea to my target audience. I'd post about it. Ask, will this help you? Share a preview or a sneak peek. If people get excited, then you build it. If they don't, then you pivot to something else. Validation saves so much time and energy. Third, I'd move faster. I dragged my feet for too long because I wanted things to be extra perfect. But perfection isn't a trap. Sorry, is a trap. What am I thinking? The quicker you launch, the quicker you learn. I could have had my first 10 sales weeks earlier if I had just put it out there. Now I know that speed beats polish every time. That doesn't mean that you're not going to give value. Of course you are. You can always make version 2.0, but you can't improve what doesn't exist. But honestly, I'd stop hiding. I'd stop worrying about being too salesy. If your product genuinely solves a problem, talking about it isn't pushy. It's helpful. That mindset shift changes everything. So tell me, what's the biggest takeaway from my first 10 sales that I got? It's not about getting rich quick. It's not about building a giant funnel. It's not about having 1 million followers or subscribers. It's about proving to myself and yourself, if this is you, that people will pay for what you create, as long as you are solving a problem. That proof is fuel. It gives you confidence to keep going. But here's your action step. Don't overcomplicate this. Take one piece of content you've already made, maybe a blog post, maybe an article, a Twitter thread, an Instagram carousel, or a YouTube tip that you can expand on, and package it into something small and useful. Price it under $20. Share it with your audience. Don't wait until it's perfect. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just do it. Just do it. That's how you build momentum. Because those first 10 sales aren't about the money. They're about the belief. Believe that you can do this. Believe that what you know has value. And once you have that belief, you can scale up, grow, and create even bigger wins. Okay, so please check out my YouTube resources in the description. And thanks for listening. I've got digital guides to help you navigate this platform and make money doing so. Drop a comment below with your biggest concerns that you have about improving your channel and making money online. And if this video opened your eyes to making money outside of the YouTube Partner Program, please smash that notification bell for more insider tips that you won't find anywhere else but here. If you want to make money on YouTube, you need to hear what I'm going to share in my next video. Yes, you do. If you're just getting started, remember this. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need to begin. Get started. And if I can do it with no audience, no funnel, no ads, you can do it too. Thanks for watching. And don't ever give up. Please, don't ever give up. You can do this. And guess what? I got you.